All right, guys, you're welcome. And let's go. Okay, guys, can you hear me? If you can hear me, just type one on the chat box quickly. And so I should be, if you're live and you can hear me, you can see my screen. Type 111 on the chat box quickly. Type 111 on the chat box. All right, that's good. All right, that's good. Okay, that's great. Yes. How many of us took the trade I sent in the morning on the PBS Club? That gold signal, and I think there was euro signal that was sent. I don't know how many of you saw that euro USD signal was sent. I think that one is still running, though I'm not too comfortable because he didn't get to the point where it's supposed to get to properly, and he starts selling. Okay, so we're looking for money. That's all what we need. No story. Let's look at the market. Of course, starting from gold. Now, there's a little challenge on gold. Of course, it has done noble today already. 3,000 pips is not a baby. That's from here, has done 3,000 pips. Oh, yes. So 3,000 pips is not a baby. And so some persons, signal that was sent was around this. That should be over 800, 700, or 1,200 pips. If anybody entered it anyway. If you're on the group and you are not paying attention to the group messages, you're undoing yourself because there are so many important messages that have been dropped there, except you're not interested in making more money. So I love to make more money anyway. So let's go and look at the market. So gold is on top of the previous day high now. And I think it has tapped into this fair value gap. So let's look at scanner and probably just find a trade. Somebody say our movement was so fast yesterday. Oh, what? So there was a massive sell already on 1 minute time frame using our scanners. So let's remove this PBX, this, so that you can see a plain one. There are times we use it, and what we use it for, there are different purposes, okay? So let's watch and see if we can find a trade. This one has done 100, 200 pips already from here. So let's watch, you can see. But I think we're going to see more selling. The selling pressure, I think, is getting thicker, massive. So this is powerful. So if you're on the group there, you should have seen the training of today's challenge. If you don't see it, that means you're wrong. So let's wait for the market. No, we're looking for money. Okay, so let's see if we are going to find an entry here and to rally back up to this point because, like I told us, the market is what it is. If I clear off all of this jargon, to see the plain stuff of the market. PBX. So the sell is still continuing. I can do brief stuff, but this is not our things. We're looking for money, and so, but to do a brief, massive. This is massive, guys. So this is massive. I only took a trade not long. Sold down to this point, but I was away from the system. This is cool. That's what was going to happen. So, hmm, good, good, good. Anyone who is following us using this scanner and you are not learning much, I did a new videos and sent on the, to have the file on the Microsoft Word file, adding up the, yeah, I think there's an add up. There's an add up. Yes, so there's an add up here, setup. I think I did other ones, setup. Okay, could it be down there? Okay, I'm working on some of this. Okay, I set up, I send this thing adding up. If you have this document, to refresh it on your phone, on your system, talking about effective management and lot size entering. I did it, was it yesterday? So if you don't have it, if you have the document, if you're a subscriber or you are Plan B Express Cash Flow Solution Club, you should have the document. If you don't have it, you're wrong. Okay, so we're waiting for an entry. We're looking for a reaction. But I think more selling pressure should be happening because that has done very well today. And if you look at the market, so this is what the outlook of the market today happened to be this way. So what happened was very simple. We saw that, this is power of three on one on daily time frame, this market. And then we have a breakout structure that happened here. So I'm just taking this time to show you some stuff. Okay, so we had this as more recent break, and then we have a new break over here. But this was tap into. We have this other block. Yeah, but we could have the last point or extreme. So we have the extreme. So we have the extreme down here. So I just want to show you why the market is still selling down. So we tap into the other block and we got a bounce. So let's call it bounce there. And 4 hours time frame. So that was the bounce over there. So what really happened? They're coming down to, there is so much thing on the 4 hours, but we could see this is a breakout structure here. We have this internal structure over here. So that means we have something of this nature here on 4 hour time frame that need to be mitigated, which has not been mitigated. Now, but in between the line, we are making money because if you follow the instruction, the buy is supposed to have, oh, massive. Oh, this is a very long week. Massive. So let's watch what's happening. This is 3 minute time frame. Let's go to 1 minute and see. That's not a good one. The market is still poised to go down. So let's continue our analysis. And so we have 4 hours and then area of focus. The market's supposed to come down to this point, right? So that's what we have, and then we're waiting for the sell back. So maybe that's what's about to happen. I think we're in the New York session. We open shortly. So if this is the case, let's go here. Now go to 1 hour time frame quickly. So this is fantastic. This is the trade we took yesterday. And why do we enter trade yesterday here on 1 hour? This is power three, massive. So if you have been following us, if you are my student on the Cash Flow Solution Club, this trade should not be a strange stuff to you. You should be making more money there, seriously, because someone told me, yeah, gold is becoming more volatile. I say, yeah, you follow it the way it is. And now, so this is the last break of structure on down to the down on 1 hour time frame. So we have what pushes the structure broken was here, and so now we have a structure shift from here. Makes sense. So this is MSS. Makes sense. So or change of character as the case may be. So makes sense, right? So then we have this discount entry over here. Now I'm fast. I'm not teaching, guys. If you want to learn more, you have to go to the ecosystem and take your time to learn and all of that. Because of course you can't ask me too many questions here because it's money we're looking for. So, but we just need to do basics. And so we have this shift in structure, then we have this break of structure. Make sense, right? Good. Now, so let's go quickly. Now, so let's just see what's going to tell us there. So this is a break of structure. And so this was an amazing one. So on 1 hour, so we can refine this one. Let's refine this one to this point. Okay. So we have refined this one to this point. So that means we expect this guy, we expect gold to come down. So I think it's supposed to come down. It should deceive people and pump down massively. But there's something that was very, very massive that people didn't take into account here. So when you get here, there's something very significant that's here that people didn't pay attention to. A powerful fair value gap was here, 4 hour fair value gap. I hope you can see that. That's a lot. So going down to 1 hour time frame quickly. So it has tapped into the fair value gap and it signals sells, but that's it's going sideways perhaps. But if you're following the trend, you will have sold and make some money. But let's see if it's going to bring us more sell. It's already buying up on 1 minute time frame. Wow, so this is crazy, but that's so big. Except if I'm going to take a very small lot size, that's so big. So that's not a good one for me. So patience is required, but don't be surprised because now this is a total displacement. So gold is just doing what it likes. So this is a total displacement, and so which means you can have a rally up, as it were. So let's see, and this is power of three already. So the buying is in charge, but your stop loss will be too bogus. Your stop loss will be bogus. So if you want to take a trade, just take small lot size now. But this trade is very, 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 very funny. So if you want to take a trade, take a very small lot size because we have an engulfing candle on 1 minute time frame above this. So that means you will take a trade here. Remember, any trade you take, we always say that just make sure you are targeting the first pips you're targeting is what's it called? The first pip you're targeting is 50 pips. Okay. Now, so why I always tell people to take small when the market is not too clear. So that means your first take profits will be the next psychological level, which is going to give you 80 pips if you enter, as I say. Then the next psychological level should be the 50, which is going to give you about 140 pips, which is here. Then next will be here. That's going to give you about how much pips? 170 pips from this entry. Now, if you eventually travel up to this point, right, so that's going to be 270 pips. So let's watch what's going to happen as it's moving. So the market is a very funny guy. So now, if you don't observe your psychological level, you won't be taking profit as you're supposed to do. And I've taught us one thing that's very, very important. Now, it's close to your first take profit, who's going to give you about 80 pips. Now, it doesn't matter what profit you have gotten, it's a rule. You have to take it that way. Remember that the strength of going down is even stronger than the up, and which I'm still analyzing. So your first take profit is almost hitting, right? It's gradually getting heated. I think it's getting smashed. If I'm not mistaken, I think it tapped into it already. So now let's go. Now, so if you look at when you are entering the market, the lot size you use, I may not have time to teach that here right now. The lot size you use is determined by the number of pips that you encounter for your market entry. That's your stop loss. So ordinarily, if I'm entering the market now, maybe your account you want to spend your $5 or $10 for this market, And now since the stop loss is about 140 pips, so that means I was supposed to come down to this point here and say, okay, so let's say you are trading with $50. Thank God for micro account. So $50, you are trading with $50, and then you want to risk 10% of your account, which is about $5. Now, so 140 pips, as if we're even doing the calculation together. So 140 pips, so you calculate. That means you can actually use 0.35. Now, and I tell you that if you have 0.35, so 0.05 in 6 places is 0.3, then that means you can enter 7 position ordinarily when you find a trade like that, right? So that means, so all of this I'm doing is a teaching that you must learn by yourself, okay? Now, so that means while I was entering here, I'm supposed to enter 7 positions with 0.05 if I'm trading with $50. So 0.05, 7 position. Now 0.057 position. TP1 smash, congratulations. Now, if I'm trading, I hope everybody can hear me. I want to believe that you can hear me. If you can hear me, just type 222 on the chat box, and if you can see the screen, type 333 on the chat box quickly, everybody. If you can hear me and you can see the screen, so you can hear me, type 222 on the chat box. If you can see this screen, type 333 on the chat box. Quickly, I want to be sure that we're still together. I'm not seeing that. 222 on the chat box, you can hear me. You can see my screen, 333. Quickly. I'm not seeing that. If I'm not seeing that, that means we're not together. We're not following. If I'm not seeing that, that means we're not following. Nobody? You can hear me? Okay, 222, you can hear me. Lovely. Thank you very much. All right. You can see my screen, 333 on the chat box quickly. You can see my screen, 33. Lovely. Now, you are in a trade, type 111. If you're on the trade, type 111. If you're on the trade, type 111. You're on the trade, type 111. If you're on the trade, type 111. Quickly, everybody. You're on the trade, type 111. Type 111. If you're on the trade, lovely. That's good. I love that. Oh, see my daughter. Oh, that is good. Here. You have made money. You have made money. You have made money. Type 777. You have made money. You know the money is running now. This is how it's supposed to be. I don't want sorry. I love money. They gonna acquire akune so big. So we need to make money, okay? Serving God and making money makes sense. Okay, so now, like I was explaining on the training, and so if you make money, that make a lot of sense. So we're going to now, so ordinarily in between the line, how many of you have been following us on this? That means ordinarily TP1 smash here, that's about 80 pips. TP2 ought to have been smashed. Many of you, how we're supposed to be TP2. I told you I don't need to rule those lines. That's the middle of this ordinarily. So if the middle of this, so that means here, this is the major psychological level here is okay. 4910. That means 4905. Oh no, 4910. That's 4915. Okay. So let's take this 4915. So that means we're going to look at this point here. For instance, check the coordinates and then 4915. 4915.00, 4915.00, 15.00. So that means makes sense. Okay. Now, so that means TP2 was supposed to be here. You understand? If you have been following, you know why we say it's supposed to be there. So that means TP2 is supposed to be there. That is 49. Thank God it's not 419. 4915. Now, do you know why it's supposed to be there? Because we said what you are trading is major to minor to sub-minor. Now, from where we entered from to this point is major, which has done more than 50 pips. Now, the rule is this. You don't trade with emotion. Now, when you enter, you are putting, maybe you enter like 7 positions, like I said, if you are trading with $50. If you are trading with, let's say if you are trading with, let's look at people trading with $10. That's 1,000 cents, 140 pips. That means your own position, the maximum you should use. I'm a risk manager, so you may do more than that. Some of you can be aggressive, so I don't need to limit your speed. But one of the lovely things about trading is that it's better you are one step at a time, systematic, gradual. Now, no matter how professional you are, when you have lost all the money, then there's a psychological stress that will be on you. Even when you fund new one, you see a good trade, you will not be able to take it. So it has a lot of psychological impact on you, and that's why I always say. But if you make money, your morale will be high. Even if it's $2, $1, 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, it make more sense than when you lose everything and then you are going to be struggling. So here 0.07. That means if it's 0.07, you can do 0.01 7 places. So it doesn't matter. Somebody with $50 is doing 0.05 7 places. You too do 0.01 7 places. Simple. No fight. Okay? So here, so if that is the case, that means ordinarily your TP1 was here. So your TP2 have been taken. Then that means you are waiting for TP3. So that means if you have 7 positions, maybe in each level you can close 2, 2, 2. Remaining last one, you won't close it like that. And what did I say? How do you do that? So that means TP1 it was smashed, TP2 was smashed. That means you have 7 positions, 4 positions are closed already, then remaining 3 positions. Then TP3 can be the next profit level, which is the 4920, right? Then TP4 will be at the center of these before TP5. So that means if TP4 or TP3 is taken, then that means another 2 positions. Then TP4 at this point. So let's say, let me take it there. Now, when you are trading, it's about probability, but you work with higher probability, right? So it's not a certainty. People say, oh, he must come here. When I listen to people who say, I can tell you he must come here. No, 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 no. The only thing that is standard and is sure and will never change is the word of God. Every other thing, including you and me that are talking now, will change. Okay? 5. So that is this one will be 2500. 255.00. Okay, so that means so he's just doing whatever he's doing. As long as this is still support, you are still in order. Okay, then if it didn't work, that means it's going to come down to maybe sub-minor support, which is at the center here, then in that order. Now, this is the point. You have taken TP1, TP2. You shouldn't be panicking unnecessarily. Now, listen to me sometime. If you are satisfied with TP1, TP2, you could close trade though. See, these are the things I always tell people. It's better you make money than you are wasting money. And they say if you don't know where liquidity is in the market, you are likely going to be the liquidity. Okay. So if that's the case, remember I told you that the strength of the market is more of bearish. So this is like a pullback. What we have taken is like a pullback. Okay. So now let's go to what I was doing. So manage your trade. I'm not going to help you to manage your trade. So as a grid permit you. So now look at what I was analyzing quickly, everybody. Now what I was analyzing was this. Very, very simple. The market broke a structure and then you want another pullback. So here was an area you expect gold to come back to. But is it a certainty? No, just a probability. You have it waiting. Okay. Now, another structure break on this same 1 hour. Okay, so let's look at it here. So this is another structure got broken. So if another structure was broken, very simple, right? Then that means we have a high. Now, I told you that the market has run into the fair value gap of 4 hours and it's rejected. So here, that means this is a high, and then you are expecting the market to actually come down. So if it's going to come down, you have another area of importance here, which can be another block or coming down to the demand zone. So here is another area of focus. This is how you trade fractals by fractals. All right. Is it a certainty that it will come down here? No, don't put the trigger on anyone's head. You can see now if you are using your scanner, we've taken trade in buying. But somebody is waiting, even me and you are waiting for the market to come down. Meanwhile, we are still making money. That's the secret of this place. You are making money while you are envisaging or anticipating the drop. But yet you are making money moving up. So I will step down to 15 minutes, not to waste too much time. Now stepping down to 15 minutes. So there's something significant we're going to see there. So on 15 minutes, you have the structure again. So, and I've told you, don't panic when you are trading. You have to exercise patience. All right. So the market will do what it want to do, and then even if you panic, it won't change from what you need to do. That's one thing you need to understand. So here we have the 15-minute time frame. Now the structure is broken on 15-minute time frame. So this last structural break. Now what the market did here, you see this point here that I'm showing, that's an inducement, right? That's an inducement. It created the liquidity that they needed to come and take out. That's an inducement, ladies and gentlemen. So if it's an inducement, look at the high here. Our scanner had already told us to sell. From here to this inducement is a plenty money. If you go to your scanner, that's plenty money, guys. Now, so here we have this. So now, while you are waiting for the market here, so let's refine 15-minute time frame here. So we have refined the 15-minute time frame here. So that means we need the gold to come down to this region, which is about 4827 region, stuff like that. Will it come there? Certainly. It's not the guarantee. It's just a probability, guys. Why? How? Good. Let's quickly look at something. In jumping up to this point, I need to come down. Even though it was an inducement, there's something you may not pay attention to. There was a last opposing, which is like a demand zone that happened here. Market came there, and you see that market reacted here, right? Which is the kind of an opposing move. But you need to have a good momentum to actually return back up. But can it return back up? Why not? Very possible. All right. So the market has come down here with a very powerful engulfing candle. But at the end of the day, I think it created equal low. So that means this inducement will be more powerful over time, whereby the market could come and sweep. In the process of sweeping this, it could return back to this downside that we're looking at. So that means now returning back and make this one as another liquidity to sweep it as a buy side liquidity and run into the FEG properly before selling down, or moving down entirely before buying on. So, but you on a good day, you have used your scanner to deal with it. Now we'll go to 5 minutes probably and to see what happened. So if you look at on 5 minutes, so on your 5 minutes, right, you can see on your 5 minutes. So what first happened here? The market ran into this guy and creates what? A power of three. Now I told you that my power of three is a very fantastic one. I don't wait for the distribution. If you wait for distribution here, you're just wasting your time. This what we call sniper entry. So as far as I have this accumulation, manipulation, I mean my stop loss below here. Now I can get stopped out, no problem. So don't always be afraid of getting stopped out, right? You can get stopped out 3 times and you get only one, the last one, right? That can cover all the stopped out. But the worst thing about being stopped out is not about the stopped out, it's about when you don't measure the level at which you could get stopped out and the amount you are about to lose when you get stopped out. Some of us cannot calculate what will be my loss if the market stop me out. That's why you now trade with hope. And I think the market's supposed to come down here. It's supposed to move to the other side. I think it will move. I think it's supposed to move. Uh, uh, I was thinking that the candle will go bearish. So no, that's not trade. So you have to be precise, even though it's a probability, and so that you can trade with confidence. So here we have this, the market travel up again. Then you have your scanner giving you all of these things. Now the market returned back, swept this liquidity down here, and we get this place again swept. So we're expecting that the markets will take out this, but it got here and create another, what do we call it? Power of three. Now, if you look at your scanner had not given any trade, perhaps if you go to 3 minutes, you're going to find this earlier. Now, we are not using the psychology level, and that's why you may not appreciate this because it's a plain chart. But when you are scalping, psychological levels are very, very important because you can take a trade and make money fast as possible. Look at that. So ordinarily, this market is called what we call liquidity void. This is a liquidity void. Pam, 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 pam. That is like a manipulation. So what you're supposed to have ordinarily if all things being equal, which all things may not be equal at all time, is that the market's supposed to come down here and now sell from there, whatever. But so what if you sell down again without making up? Your own most important thing is that you are taking profit. And I think I told you that okay, once you have taken TP1, TP2, you can always adjust your stop loss to your entry. Okay? You can always adjust your stop loss to your entry. So that even when the market come and invalidate the trade, you are still in order and you are protected your capital. Okay, so now let's look at it here. And then on 1 minute, that's a very powerful one. So on 1 minute, you can see that where we marked, the market came to on 1 minute, we have this, and then this an engulfing. Wow, this is crazy. Now, for people who always love to wait for the the three candle confirmation, the accumulation manipulation to play out before they take an entry. 1 minute is very super for you for sniper entry, so that you can comfortably wait for all the candle formation. For instance, look at it. This is accumulation, manipulation, and then engulf both the almost the three candles. So you now probably when you are entering, you probably say, okay, I'm entering long from when this was closed. So your stop loss will still be manageable, 130 pips. And if you are trading one ratio two risk reward, for instance, so that's going to be like this as fast as possible. That means you have used 130 pips to get about 270 pips, or give and take more than that. Now the market pullback, this is a pullback, for instance, and it creates another power of three, and then that means you're good. The market. So look at this sell, you will have sold massively, and because we have another powerful PBS scanner that will give you more entry. Let me just take that here. PBX, PBS, what's that? Where are you? PBX Sniper Push. This is a new scanner, okay? If you are not making money in our ecosystem right now, I think you are wrong. That means you have a disobedient spirit. So now, so the market is no longer funny, right? Because look at it, it's becoming choppy. So this is not good. I hate this type of trade because no volume, nothing, and just struggling for nothing. So sometimes when it's doing that and you are not comfortable, you just say, let me close my trade and observe where the market want to go to properly. So if you want to close your trade, you can close it anyway. So, but I always trade and maybe have a position, haven't taken one, two profit, then you adjust your stop loss to your entry. So you can adjust. I'm sure TP1, TP2 has been taken. Yes, I'm correct. Then you can adjust your stop loss to your entry. Yeah. Since TP1 and TP2, that's my rule. Since TP1 and TP2 have been taken, then you can always adjust your stop loss to your entry. Now, so but look at it now here. Look at the scanner. Now, these are powerful scanners. So, but some of you want to like pick this scanner now, right? It's a different thing altogether. It's a different parameter. But this is it. It gives double confirmation, especially on M5, on M1, M3, M1, and M3. Yeah. So look at it. Look at the scanner here. Look at the our sniper core say sell. If you are still dialing, which is a powerful power of three there. How many of you can see? Now, those of you who will wait for confirmation is still good for you because this is accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. So people wait for confirmation. That is the three candle to be formed. I say use 1 minute, it's better for you so that your trade will not go too far. So that means your stop loss is going to be above here. That's about 70 pips. That's not too bad. Now, if you are the type that trade one ratio two risk reward, then that's going to be somewhere here. You're done. That's 160 pips has given to you. But now looking at it, this is a void market continue to move down, and then look, you are targeting this low. Then if you check your psychological level, so coming down to this point with this trade, you have done 360 pips. That's what it means. Now, so that was fast, very fast delivery. Now, getting to this one, look at the scanner. Okay, I told you that this market is very funny. So, okay, see now, massive sell. So, because the market is just struggling and we're having more up close candle. So, here we have this. Look at the scanner. Now, the people who always wait for confirmation, now you will have waited for this confirmation, right? That's a good one. Now, that means you're going to enter the market at this price. And then your stop loss below here. That's about 100 pips, right? Something like this. Even though it's not a powerful one, because why it's not a powerful one is the fact that we're having more of up close candle. Now, 1:2 risk reward will be, oh, exactly there. Let's look at it. So 1:2 risk reward, that's 170 pips. That's not a bad one. Now, but look at another thing that happened here. Why this has given you the market move and came down, this one now give you more confirmation. You're good to go. So that means your trade, just relax, cool it, and then you are good to go. So that is how the trade. And now when you are using your scanner, so this scanner just add up for you. Okay. So I told you to just move your stop loss in your to your entry. Now let me tell us something about trading. Now, when you trade and you are trading based on when candle move, you react all the time. You will find it difficult to be profitable because you will waste beautiful trade. Some trade that you are not supposed to exit, you exit. Some trade you are not supposed to enter into, you enter into them. Okay, and as much as possible. Now, what can you tell me is the advantage of always taking profit in between? It gives you more confidence, you more relax. So even when the market is pulling back, or eventually come and hit your stop loss, you have made some profit based on the TP1 and TP2 you have taken. I've told you I don't tell people where to take profit because if you're using this scanner, your psychological level already told you, and I'll explain more detail about that. Okay, that makes sense. Now I think it was very early today that you were able to get some profit. Okay, somebody saying something here. Okay. Let's look at. Well, that's my much market that I love to take trade on. Now I was analyzing Euro USD today. Let's look at it. Let's just go there. Um, okay, so Euro USD. My target was this, that the market supposed to come to the other fair value gap and sell down, but it has been inducing the market, creating. But uh, anyone who sold from here must have made some money, and then the market was just was not too juicy anyway, because I think there's a low liquidity as much as possible. Uh, I don't think I need to analyze much of it because we have a trade running on that already. Okay, let's go. Gold is still struggling. Okay. Bitcoin is suffering. Bitcoin is suffering from Kwashoko. Serious suffering. Okay, guys, just give me a moment. Precious, are you in? Which market are you checking? Let me know on the comment. So, which market are you checking? Anyway, we don't trade too many instruments, so Guys, just give me a moment, okay? So the market is still struggling, right? So let's see how it goes. So now the essence of trailing stop loss, exactly when you have taken TP1, TP2, is to protect your capital. Okay, is to protect your capital because it's very important, and especially when the market is so not stable, so unsure, and you want to preserve your capital. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Sell was yeah. So that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I think since you have made money, and what we come for is to make money, right? So you need to continue learning. Okay. So I don't need to stop, continue over talking. And so those of you who are still holding your trade, so enjoy yourself. We're going to okay. We're almost hitting TP3. Very volatile. Woo! Oh, New York is open. So if New York is open, so it's crazy. And I told you one of the rules is that please don't scalp when a new session is opening, so it can trick you. Okay, that's one of the issue. Thank God you have taken TP1, TP2. So if you graduate to TP3, fantastic. So so this is what normally happen on when sessions are opening now. So this is what really happen when session are opening. Okay, let me just show you guys something very quickly. Um, this is stock. If you are not buying stock with us, you are wrong. Okay, Women Bank has really done massive stuff. Going more. I know when I was begging people to buy Women Bank at five naira per shares. So women will be 24 or 25 naira now. Wow. And some of you, Venitas, that's another ETF. I don't know what's going on here. Vertified consumers. We're already 67% profit on vertified consumers. Hi. We bought it at 38 naira, 40 naira. Now it's 67 naira, bro. Crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, like I was saying, that so this is New York session. So if you go to sections, do I have that? Let's look at ICTQ zone. Okay, so let me go to 15-minute time frame. Okay, so now London section. So that means so gold, the selling is obvious now. So look at what happened. So market is usually this. So Selling should be the massive sell, probably back to those regions we've marked now, but it will manipulate the market at least when session open, the first 5 15 minutes is a crazy one, so that you don't want to do anyhow, right? So the first, that's why I say don't scalp, and then of course be careful, right, when new session open, because many of us may not pay attention to how the manipulation actually does happen. Markets move, and we'll say market price is fractals. So look at this is Asia session. Asia session is the one that opened the market and is said to be characterized with accumulation. Even if it trend, whatever it does, it's characterized with accumulation. Then come by London session. London session is said to be a manipulator. So, but it all depends on the trend of the market. So you have to understand the trend. So if you look at it, the trend of the markets were in between. So we're having a downtrend and a pullback, and then returning on a lower time frame, like 1 hour time frame, having it like a kind of an uptrend. So here, because I told you about the fair value gap that was here. So what can New York do ordinarily? Now, New York is known for its reversal character. Since Asia section have taken out the high, since London section have taken out the high of Asia, then you expect the New York section to sell. Now, but you're going to manipulate, maybe taking out this buy side liquidity and then sell down. So that means chances of going up and rebalance to reflect here. That's about 4933, right? Or if you fail, so 49, that's 4933 or 4937, 4939, something like that. After moving that way, and then we're supposed to be selling. Now, when we sell, we have a lot of places to also understand that this is gold. Gold can deal with you. That's why you learn how to buy and sell gold. Learn how to buy and sell gold. So now, when the market come, then take out, and it can even go to an extent of manipulating out uh, the London session itself. Then, or create a continuation. You remember that on 1 hour we're already bullish, right? We're already on an uptrend. So anything can happen. Oh wow, I didn't charge my system. Okay, so that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check. What is this one? So you can see the manipulation, right? You can see the manipulation. I'm sure for those of you, if your stop loss was pushed so much above, if it's not exactly at your entry point, you must have been stopped out. But for those that is just exactly at their entry point, you have not been stopped out. For those who didn't push, that means TP3, TP4, and almost TP5.
Great.